Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's start out this video with a trip to the flea market. I have set myself a challenge this year that I'm not going to overspend on decorations, food, or gifts. I want to do a low buy and a possible no buy when I already have things that will work. So this was so much fun to take up this challenge and reuse a lot of my old favorites and spend just a little bit of money to get new things, used things, old things that I can keep for years to come and reuse and enjoy for a long time. On this particular trip to this flea market, they had a lot of good deals, including this hot beverage set for $20. This swan wall hook plaque I did end up getting, and I feel like it was a good buy because I can reuse it for multiple seasons for a long time. Now, not everything I pictured here I picked up. A lot of this was either too modern for my aesthetic, which right now is a very rustic, cozy, Victorian look, but I enjoyed looking at all the decorations, and it really did put me in the mood for the season. I have noticed as a working mother and wife who holds down a career full time, as well as takes care of a home and a family, that I can get a little bogged down in the details of life. And so taking a day here and there to go and shop, whether I spend any money or not, to get out and see all the festive things, it does help put me in the mood for the season. Now, I greatly admired this red and white quilt. $75 was just out of my price range, though. Even though it was handmade and antique, I know it's valuable and it's well worth that $75, but that is just above my budget at the moment. And so I gave myself a little challenge. If you see something you truly want, then see if you can get something like it, like a dupe or something similar, at a lower cost. And I did. I bought a red and white quilt off Walmart that was $20. And I can reuse this quilt for many, many years. Although it's not antique and it's not handmade, it gives me the look that I wanted for my festive decor. And it's a useful piece. You can see it folded there on top of the bureau that sits in my living room. Later, I'm going to add it to my bedding and give my little bedroom a festive Christmas look. I absolutely enjoyed decorating my home this year. I used a real Christmas tree. That was also something I did buy new. And although I cannot reuse the real tree, the joy that it has brought to me and my family, there's no price you can put on that. So I was quite happy to invest in the money in the real tree that brings us all the cheer we could need. I added some real candy canes. That's something I always thought was so romantic as a child when I would see people add candy canes to their trees. And it just adds a festive look without a lot of money. Candy canes cost a few cents a piece. I think you can buy a box for just a few dollars. And it coordinates perfectly with the ribbons and the baubles that I've added to the tree. I did add this lace tablecloth. This is an antique lace tablecloth. I paid $20 at the flea market. And it looks so elegant when paired with the runner and placemats I also bought at an antique flea market. And the lamp my mother gave to me as a gift, so no money was invested in this, but I'll use it for years and years, and I can't wait to light it during Christmas dinner. You'll recognize the teddy bear at the beginning of the video. He costs $3 and he'll last forever as long as I take care of him. And I found a second teddy bear for just a few dollars at the same flea market. They add the most rustic and fun vibe to this Victorian Christmas look. And there's the swan. I added my red bonnet, a small basket of foraged evergreens, and a wall plaque. As you can see, I picked up the owl, which will be a great all year round piece, and a cookbook, which I plan to use well after the holidays. It was full of good recipes that I think will suit my family well, and I'll keep it out and handy. Now, here was obviously the largest amount I spent. I bought a full set of Christmas dishes. I have a full 8-piece set now, and each set is a full dining layout of a dinner plate, a salad plate, a soup bowl, a cup and saucer, as well as a tea glass, a water glass, and a juice glass. Now, my family doesn't dine formally per se, but I feel like I'll get years and years of use out of these adorable country geese Christmas plates. My table felt so festive. We enjoyed using them. They don't take up a large amount of space. I put them all into one cupboard in my kitchen, and I'll enjoy getting them out a couple of times a year to serve holiday dinners for my family. And speaking of the holiday dinners, as a working mother who has a full-time job, I understand that it can get so overwhelming during this time of year. You're trying to create a magical feeling in your home for your family. You're giving and creating memories that no one else can provide but you. And I just want to assure everyone, whether you are going full force into the holiday season or you're just doing the little bit that you can, you are doing enough. Everything does not have to be handmade from scratch. Go ahead and buy those pre-made dressings or a pre-cooked turkey. That is absolutely fine. And if you're in a situation in life where you cannot spend the money to do this type of thing, then do not stress yourself out. As old as time, families have come together over the holidays to just appreciate what they do have. The simplest of meals at any budget is good enough. There is no need to charge Christmas to your credit cards and put yourself further in debt. I would absolutely challenge everyone. See what you can do with what you have. There's nothing wrong with serving a hot meal of spaghetti and garlic toast for Christmas dinner if that's what your budget will allow. You do not have to do the full dinner. My little family is able to live debt-free due to a series of blessings, but I will tell you, I have been at a place in life where I had to make decisions on what to do and what not to do based on our budget. And I'm happy to report that most dinners in the South can be made relatively budget friendly. I bought a large bag of Honeycrisp apples on sale, and I have decided to cook the entire bag of apples down to make pie filling. So I added brown sugar, apple pie spice, butter, and vanilla. And I'll get at least 3 apple pies out of that one bag of apple pie filling, which is so much cheaper than buying the pre-made apple pie. But as I said, if you're in a time crunch, go ahead and buy the pre-made apple pie. That is absolutely okay. One of the frugal things, and it's a tradition in my family, is to wrap Christmas gifts in the funny papers. We had a very fiscally conscious family member who greatly enjoyed wrapping gifts in the funny papers. She would save them all year long, and everyone's gifts would be wrapped this way. And as a child, we delighted in this. And the adults understood that this was a way for her to save money while still participating and making the season bright and festive. And so I always add 1 or 2 gifts under the tree in remembrance of her and her funny paper gift wrapped gifts. Here's that large basket of apples, and I had so much fun peeling these apples and cutting them up and turning the first batch into an apple pie. The rest has been put away for Christmas so that I can bake a couple of apple pies for Christmas dinner. The house smelled so lovely, and I ended up making a simmer pot out of the apple peels with 1 clementine orange and a cinnamon stick. And my house smelled so beautifully festive for the rest of the day. As you can see, I'm rolling out my pie shells. Now, here's one of my tricks as a working mother. This is a pre-made pie crust. This just makes my life so much easier. Pie crust can be made relatively simply and more cheaply. So you might look into that if you're on a budget to make your own. But if you're like me and you just don't have the time, but you do want to make a pie, go ahead and buy these small things that will help you to create the meal that you desire for your family. There is no need to feel guilt over anything. And here we have the bed with our red and white quilt that only costs $20 from Walmart. I have paired it with the deer flannel sheets and a few throw pillows, and my bed is so cozy. Merry Christmas, everyone.